Thanks for staying with us. Let's go to this. The Judicial Conduct Tribunal into misconduct complaint against suspended Gauteng Judge Nana Makhubele was postponed yesterday. This was because her legal team hadn't been paid since the start of the proceeding. Now, this matter has been dragging on for quite some time now, and we also did reach out to the judge's lawyers, and we're still waiting to hear a response from them. But let's speak to the complainants. Hashtag Unite Behind Director Zackie Achmat, who joins us live now. Thank you so much for your time this evening. Your reaction to the postponement that we heard about yesterday?
Well, the place to start is to say access to justice is one of the most important rights in our constitution and in international law. And most working class people and middle class people cannot afford to defend themselves in courts or to be provided with legal services when they need it most. Regrettably, Justice Makhubele has the state as an ATM, or so she thinks. Justice Makhubele is facing some of the most serious charges that a judge has faced in South Africa: a breach of the separations of power and the facilitation through her conduct of corruption and trying to stop investigations at PRASA. Now, from where I sit, that is not in the course and scope of a duty of a judge to help facilitate corruption or to breach separation of powers. What we all know is that when someone beats up someone else outside their work, the employer can't be held responsible for the legal costs of that person. Where there's a case on the face of it to answer by any state official, we, the public, should not be paying for those cases. And that is what Justice Makhubele is demanding. It is regrettable that after we had laid the case, at the end, I think, of 2018, maybe the beginning of 2019, since then what we have seen is delay after delay that she's made. Justice Makhubele even went to court against the President, the JSE, and Unite Behind. And then when she realized she didn't have a case, she tendered 100,000 rands worth of costs towards us. Now, right now, we have spent just on legal fees 1.3 million rands. Her lawyers, Mabuza & Co., told the tribunal that her lawyers own millions. Now, our lawyers are doing the work at a reduced case, at a reduced rate. We will never be able to recover that money because as a complainant in judicial proceedings against a judge, you don't get the money if your complaint is sustained, like you would get in an ordinary court when costs are given for you and it's covered. So here we have a situation where we've wasted 1.3 million rand when we've given Judge Makhubele every chance before we laid a complaint in order to resign from her position at PRASA. There's a letter where we say to the Chief Justice, Mogoeng at that time, the Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa, and the Judge President of Gauteng, and we say to them, look, this is going to be embarrassing to the judiciary. We ask you to deal with this so that it's not dealt with in the public. Now, here we sit today, and Judge Makhubele is doing what Mkhwebane, Public Protector Mkhwebane did, what Jacob Zuma, the criminally convicted former president of ours, did. So we're in a situation now where this matter is now being postponed to the 3rd of November.
So, Zackie, one of the things that, is really clear here, it's been a long time. I mean, we even think back to even the State Capture Commission and what we heard then, fast forward to where we are now. All these delays, what do they mean in the context of accountability?
Well, the deepest mistake we've made is to allow the Zondo Commission to continue without making sure that there's the money and resources ready to follow up properly. And I believe that the Ministry of Justice and the government is preventing sufficient money being made available so that these can be proceeded. No case is worse than that of Sifisa Buthelezi, who's the Standing Committee of Appropriations Chair. He made there, and PRASA. So here you have one of the most senior government members in charge of giving budget to every department, every state-owned entity, but that person is so mired in corruption. We've got complaints against Parliament. We now have a complaint against COPA. We have 2 reviews against Parliament. You imagine this. When we lay a complaint, you or I lay a complaint against someone who's a police officer, and they charge. That is a public hearing. But with a parliamentarian, if they charge with anything, never mind corruption, those proceedings, that record is kept secret. A complainant doesn't even have a right to appear or to ask according to Parliament. We're taking that rule of Parliament and saying that it's unconstitutional. Now, it's painful. The pain that is caused in the hearts of working people. I believe if you take the senior counsel of the lawyers of Justice Makhubele, all of them make in a day what it will take 2-3 years for many workers to earn.
Yeah, Zackie.
And that is
yeah, and that really is, you know, the nub of it. And I do hope that we speak again, because there's quite a lot. I mean, you think about the fact that the legal fees are just a sideshow. We haven't even begun to talk about the work that the tribunal needs to do when it comes to investigations into the complaint that you've laid and where things are and what does it mean for her going forward. So I hope that we speak again. We're in fact out of time, I'm told. So apologies about that. But thank you so much for speaking to us. And remember, we did reach out to Judge Nana Makhubele's lawyers. We're still waiting for a response just to get a sense of what exactly is happening there and where to from here. That was a #UniteBehind Director Zackie Achmat.